Okay, good day, class. So before we go and discuss the different types of first order differential equations, the mga variable separable, homogeneous, etc. Let's first discuss solutions of a differential equation. So, akong plano ni ang sugod jud sa ato ang discussion sa variable separable and so on is next meeting nato which is face-to-face. Kani, itakal lang ako very briefly ang solution of a differential equation no katong general and particular and some examples of implicit explicit na solution. So, dali lang eh. Just listen and then take notes. Kaya mag-sit work ko sa ato ang next face-to-face meeting. Alright, so start. Okay, so there are two types of solution of a differential equation. One is the general solution. So when we're general, ako naman yung na-discuss very shortly po data from the previous meeting that when you have katong example na y is equal to sine x plus c, no? And this is what we call the family of solution sa katong differential equation, no? Y prime is equal to cosine x. Okay. And this family of solution sa ato ang differential equation is actually what you call a general solution. So this is a solution of a differential equation that contains at least one arbitrary constant. So meaning at least one, pwede two, pwede three. Okay, basta na isa diha, at least isa ka constant value. Then that is a general solution. For example, we have here a solution of a certain differential equation, no? This is y is equal to e to the x plus c1x plus c2. So these are the constants. Patakabalon sa tinuod nga value ani. So in this case, this is what we call the general solution. On the other hand, po class, atong particular solution is a solution of a differential equation that does not contain any arbitrary constant. Kung wala na kayo makita din ako, puro na lang independent o dependent variable class, then that is your particular solution. For example, x is equal to 16t squared plus 20t plus 10. So this is your particular solution. Wala na kayo makita nga constant diha. Okay. So how do we determine a particular solution? Actually, a particular solution ito, gikan na itong general solution. No? Pero dapat given taog what we call the initial or boundary conditions so that we can find the value of our arbitrary constants. Okay? So a problem involving initial condition called initial value problem, makita po natin diri class, makakuha sa that particular solution. Another problem involving values class para makakuha na to ang ato ang constant is boundary value problem. So in a way they're the same because we are given the values of x and y to get the arbitrary constants. Pero ang nakalahil lang sa initial value problem is that your x or your independent variable is equal to 0, initial man. Okay. And your boundary value problem doesn't necessarily have to be your independent variable equal to 0. So basta na lang siya value sa x and y. So for example, we are given this general, no? This is called your general solution. Papangitaon ta og particular solution. So in this case, you have y is equal to x cubed plus 2x squared plus ax plus b. So then, we have two constants, a and b. Now, as you have learned in your algebra class, if you have two unknown values, okay, you have to have two equations, diba? The number of equations must be equal to the number of your unknowns para ma-solve nimo ang inyong unknown values. So in this case, you have A and B, both are unknown, and we are given the boundary conditions. Y is equal to 5 when x is equal to 1, and y is equal to 3 when x is equal to 0. So then, we can find, makita natin duha ka given, 2 points given to us, we can now create two equations from these values. And so we can now solve your constant na A and B. So kung ato na siyang i-substitute the class, we have the first equation nato would be 5, ikan aning nga values, is equal to, ang x nato kay 1 daw, cube plus 2 times 1 squared plus A times 1 plus B. Okay, so you simplify that and you'll get the first equation. The second equation will be this. Okay? Y is equal to 3 daw when x is equal to 0. So you have 0 cubed plus 2 times 0 squared plus a times 0 plus b. Actually, this is very easy, mga wala na 0 dira. We can get a value of 3 sa imuhang b. Okay? And then, after which you substitute the value of b here sa the first equation. And then you get the value of a. Okay? So that's how you get the value of your constant, given your boundary conditions. Okay, so as I mentioned, when you have an initial condition, it is applicable when the dependent variable is time denoted by t, and the conditions are, what is the conditions are at t is equal to 0, start of analysis. Actually, hindi naman po siya limited to time is equal to 0. It could be any value or any problem, no? When your x is equal to 0, and your independent value is equal to 0, then what is your dependent variable equal to? Okay, basta kay kung 0 ang imuhang independent, that is your initial condition. But again, in real life situations, or real life examples, natay, yan, initial velocity of a car. Okay, kay 0 po muna at first, time 0. Initial charge of a capacitor, initial concentration of a solution, initial population. Okay, boundary condition on the other hand is applicable if the independent variable is space denoted by their coordinates x, y, and z. And these conditions are known at any of these coordinates. So example, electrical potential field between two concentric conductors, deformation of a beam at the endpoint. So you don't have to really nang remember unsa na di applicable for boundary condition, unsa applicable for initial value. Basta ang initial value, balik-balik ko na ko, when your independent variable is equal to 0, yung pare sana dependent mo na yung initial condition. Boundary condition, basta kay dili 0, mo na yung boundary. Okay. So, initial value problem, sir, isa. Muna akong ganina. Diba, dili yun siya necessary nga real life problems. Using differential calculus, find a solution of the differential equation y prime is equal to cosine x, and solve na niya to last meeting. Pero karon gitagaan tawag initial value. So, when y of 0 is equal to 2, okay, ang siya pasagutan niya, dapat kabalo mo mabasa niya. Y of 0 is equal to 2. Y is dependent on x, no? So, if you rewrite that into notation, y of x mo na siya na. Okay? So, y of x daw is equal to 2. Y of 0 is equal to 2. So, meaning, kanang naka-enclose sa parenthesis mo ng x value, and this is your y value. Okay? So, ako lang i-rewrite din. This is your x value, and this is your y value. So, karon na-solve naman na itong solution na before, no? Using differential calculus, kato atong gibuhat ganing na last meeting ba nga. Okay, katong, ano siya if you remember, sin x plus c, no? Okay? So, this is now our general solution. Na pamantay ano nga c. So, to get the particular solution, na atay initial value condition. So, substitute na ito class. When y is equal to 2, okay, x is equal to 0. Okay, so sin of 0 is 0. So that means you have a value of c which is equal to 2. So karon imong particular solution is imo na substitute ang value sa imong c dira, and you get y is equal to sin x plus 2. This is now your particular solution because we are now free of any arbitrary constant. Okay. Before we end, magtako lang tagamay because dili ta mag-focus atong discussion for the next few lectures. I think entire midterms mo itong lecture is mag-solve ka first order ordinary differential equation. So, kasi first order, nakabalo naman tanong. Di ba kabalo na taon sa order? Ay. Okay, when you say order, so ganito, that is the order of the highest order derivative. So, ang order pertains to, ano sa pinakataas na yung derivative present in your differential equation. Mayroon mo siyang first order. So that means, ang present of the I-class is y prime lang sa mong DE. Wala na kayo y double prime, y triple prime. Ang pinakataas mga derivative in that differential equation is y prime lang or dy over dx. Okay? So a differential equation containing only the first order derivative y prime and may contain y. And x may contain. Mao ni akong gi-emphasize sa last meeting. Example na kay y prime is equal to 2. Base ngayon ka, ay, dili man siya differential equation kay wala man siya x and y. Okay? May contain. It may have x, may have y, pwede sa wala. Basta naalang kay equal sign, naka-derivative, then this completes your differential equation. Okay? So, in this particular example, this is your first order ordinary differential equation. So, first order, pwede rin nato i-shortcut of ODE. Okay. Now, let's go to the explicit implicit form because when we are trying to solve class, pwede mo ipapangita on general solution in particular, right? Pwede sa the whole, kuan ba, papangitaon mo general explicit differential, general explicit solution or general implicit solution or general or particular explicit solution or particular implicit solution. So how are you going to manipulate or how are you going to recognize that? Okay. So first is we must know kung saan definition nato sa explicit o implicit form. So an explicit solution class is any solution, okay, that is given in the form of y is equal to y of t or y is equal to y of x. Basta, unsa balag unsa pa ng variable gamit na, basta, the only place that y actually shows up is once on the left side and only raised to the first power. Okay, mo na explicit. So, y is equal to, for example, x squared plus 2x plus 1. Mo na explicit. Ang sa imong left side, isa ra jud ka y na diha. And then it is expressed to the first power. Dili pwede pag mag-plus ko y diri class. Sample na ako'y y is equal to 2x plus 4. Na ako'y plus y dira. Okay, dili na siya pwede. Dapat ang y nimo, isa ra ka buok, yan na siya sa left side, and then raised to the first power. That's how you know that the solution is in its explicit form. Okay? One niya din na prime. Okay. So, an implicit solution per class, opposite niya is any solution that isn't in explicit form. Kung dili ganin na explicit form, wala ni satisfy ani nga condition, then implicit na siya. Okay, for example, katong kanina, 2x squared plus 3, lahi na lang. Okay? So, this is in its explicit form. Correct? Pag naa ko x dira, dili na siya explicit. Implicit na siya. So, unsa na ko ni para mahimong explicit? Ako nang ibalhin ang x sa pikas para mahimo siyang explicit. Okay? When you say about explicit from the word itself, I mean, yes, very obvious. Okay? Implicit is very obvious. Okay? So, pwede nimo ma-express ang explicit form into implicit form. Pero, dapat kabalusa ka sa definition on how you spot an explicit and an implicit form of solution. Okay, so let's have this one. Sige, kini siya. Y squared is equal to t squared minus 3. Okay? Ningon siya dito. Is the particular implicit solution. Particular. Okay, atong tanawon. Hinay na to class kay. Basta ra ba masago lang ning duha particular implicit, general explicit. Hindi ra ba din kabalo distinguish ang mga student. So, just change my color. Okay, so, mingon siya particular. Yes, it is particular. Kay, wala na kay constant nga nakita. Next, it is implicit. Yes, it is implicit because ang imong y, although naara siya sa left side, it is raised to the power of 2. So, implicit siya. Dili daw siya class, the particular implicit solution to our differential equation, y prime is equal to p over y. Okay? Given taog boundary conditions. And I think, incomplete lang yun, pero papangitaon taan ni og okay, explicit form. Okay, actually, kini siya class will help us recognize or will help us check if it is indeed a solution to our differential equation. Okay? Pero, if you want to solve the explicit form, it doesn't matter kung natay boundary condition. All we have to do is extract the y lang yun. Just extract the y and put it on the left side. In this case, naka-y squared man ninyo, wala na kailangang y diha ga-exist. So all we have to do to solve for the explicit form is to square the right side. Okay? So that's why ang atong y class will have positive plus minus square root of t squared minus 3. Okay? So, another ngayang gibuhat with class is given ani nga boundary condition ba tungod kay ang imong explicit form is duha tungod sa positive o negative niya na kay t squared minus 3. Yan sige negative square root of t squared minus 3. Para ma-check niya asa gid ka ang explicit form ani dili na to magamit ang atong boundary condition. So given t is equal to 2, y is equal to negative 1, atong i-check kung unsa ba gyud ang mo equal sa left side. Okay? With regards to your right side of the equation. So, negative 1, tao na to, unknown pa ni, okay? Equal to square root of 2 squared because that is your t minus 3. So, karon nakakuan ta og square root of 4 minus 3. Okay? So, kaning nga value class is 1. Kini nga value is positive 1. Okay? Yung mong left side is negative 1. So, para ma-equal yung left side o imong right side, it must be that your right side is also negative. Kay imong makuha diri is positive 1, di ba? Pero para ma-equal siya sa left, dapat naka-negate siya negative. So, ma-conclude na to na the explicit form di ay is katong negative niya nga root. Okay? So, kana lang ang iyahang pagkuan. Pero, in other problems, dili naman kayo na siya dili man kay siya specified ginaan yun sa ano. Pero kung wala mo kita boundary condition, then in this case, sakto na ninyo na solve for the explicit form. Okay. Pero kini mas specific lang siya asa sa duha ang solution yun. Explicit form yun niya, no? Given the boundary condition. Okay, so in the next lectures na to class, I will give a problem and then you have to check or you have to create, you have to find, for example, I will make you find the general explicit form. Okay? For this general implicit. For this particular explicit. Diba? Or particular implicit. So maybe I will just give some examples or some functions, some equations. Then I will make you distinguish whether general explicit ba na, general implicit, particular explicit, particular implicit. You have to know the definitions of these terms. Okay, so that will be all for the solutions of ODE. Then we'll start again on the next meeting. Variable separable and then homogeneous. Okay, so thank you for listening. Right.